Hello, I'm Emily from Counterpoints Arts. We're a national charity that supports and produces the arts about migration and displacement, and we're proud to be the coordinators of Refugee Week in the UK. I'm going to talk to you about what Refugee Week is and how you can get involved. And I'd like to start by sharing with you some quotes from 3 people who took part in Refugee Week 2021. Basma Douchi was an ambassador and an event producer for Refugee Week 2021. And she said, I was very grateful that I had the opportunity to bring the voices of my camp, of my community, of my people to different audiences. David Baines, the leader of St Helens Borough Council, said, in the last year, our community has shown incredible kindness and compassion. Those qualities are the best of us. And it is what we saw in abundance during a range of events to mark Refugee Week. And Claire Shaw at Imperial War Museum said to those thinking about getting involved in Refugee Week, I definitely say do it. And I'm quite passionate about that because you learn so much as an organisation. I wanted to share those quotes with you because they capture so much of what is at the heart of Refugee Week. It's about the voices and creative work of displaced people, about communities coming together. And it's a journey for all of us who take part that leaves a legacy all year round. Refugee Week happens every year around World Refugee Day on the 20th of June. It was founded in the UK in '98 as a response to growing hostility to people seeking safety here. And since then, it's grown to become one of the biggest arts and cultural festivals in the UK. And it's grown internationally too. Refugee Week actually started in Australia, and there's an established annual programme there. And we're really excited that this year Refugee Week is also going to take place in Greece, Germany, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Malta. So what is Refugee Week? Refugee Week is a celebration of welcome, and a celebration of the courage and creativity of refugees and all the ways they enrich our shared societies. Refugee Week focuses on arts and culture as powerful tools for us to connect and really hear each other across our differences. Through arts and creativity, it provides a platform for people who've been displaced to share their experiences, their perspectives, and their creative work on their own terms. And Refugee Week is for everyone. We're a movement of people from all kinds of backgrounds across the UK and the world. Some of us are refugees. Some of us work with refugees, some of us just feel moved to get involved, and that's what makes our movement powerful. So whoever and wherever you are, we warmly invite you to join us. Refugee Week is a partnership project coordinated by us at Counterpoints Arts. Here are the national partners who make Refugee Week possible every year. And it's an umbrella festival, which means that everyone is welcome to hold their own event or activity. And all kinds of organisations and people get involved every year, from big museums and arts venues to schools, councils, faith groups, and everything in between. And they hold all kinds of events, big and small, from performances and artistic commissions to schools activities, community get-togethers, meals, football tournaments, and much more. Over 600 events were held across the UK for Refugee Week 2021, mostly online due to the ongoing COVID situation at the time, but many were also in person. And they included Refugee Week Wales, coordinated by Welsh Refugee Council, Refugee Festival Scotland, run by Scottish Refugee Council, and 10 citywide festivals across England. The 2021 theme, We Cannot Walk Alone, inspired this mural by Maha Al-Omari, commissioned by SBC Theatre in Bradford. It inspired pavement art by Our Warm Welcome in St Helens in Merseyside, a portrait series by photographer Misan Harriman, and a whole range of activities in schools. This is Sunnyhill Primary in Streatham. Over 1,000 people enjoyed free food, music, and family activities at the Peace Hall in Halifax. Norwich Castle was one of at least 3 landmarks that were lit up orange in support of Together with Refugees. Norwich Castle was lit up with the faces of local people. And in partnership with the Joe Cox Foundation, people across the country took part in the Great Walk Together, the images of a walk organised by St Augustine's Centre in Halifax. So how can you get involved in Refugee Week 2022? Refugee Week This year is the 20th to the 26th of June. We're hoping and planning for the festival to happen in person, but online events remain an option, and I'm sure they'll be part of the programme in some way. The theme of Refugee Week 2022 is healing, and we invite you to respond to the theme in your Refugee Week activities in whatever way you feel inspired to. Whether it's recovering from illness or bereavement, healing division, or the healing of our planet, healing connects all of us. Healing is about the human ability to start again, sometimes when starting again seems impossible. And no one understands this better than those who've lost their homes and had to build new lives from scratch. And one thing we've learned in our conversations about healing over the past few months is that you don't have to be a mental health expert or ask people to delve into difficult experiences to engage in healing. We all have a role to play, and building communities of belonging, creating together, growing things, sharing food, imagining different futures together all contribute to healing and are things that we can bring into our Refugee Week events and activities. So we invite you to join us in making Refugee Week 2022 a celebration of our togetherness, of community, and of mutual care. At the end of March, we'll share our Refugee Week 2022 organiser pack, which will include the simple acts for this year. The images are of some of the simple acts from 2021. Simple acts are everyday actions we can all do to stand with refugees and help change how we think about displacement. And you can use them as building blocks or inspiration for your Refugee Week event. Simple acts come with resources to help you. For example, watch a film, links to our Moving Worlds film programme, and share a book comes with ideas of books to read and share. What happens now? Everyone that shares our Refugee Week shared values is welcome to hold a Refugee Week event or activity. You don't have to ask us or get your plans approved. The shared values are in the About section of the Refugee Week website. Refugee Festival Scotland operates a bit differently, and they have an open call for participation, and you can find details on the Scottish Refugee Council website. After the Refugee Week conference, videos and notes will be available on the Refugee Week website. In March, we'll continue with our Refugee Week and platform and monthly meets, which are usually on the first Thursday of every month. The May monthly meet will be for teachers and school staff, and we'll announce the themes for March and April soon. March will also be the start of our Refugee Week Ambassador project, which we run with our partners IMIX, supporting people from refugee backgrounds to share their experiences and perspectives in the media. The organiser pack will be released in March, and in May you can expect the Refugee Week Schools pack and social media resources, as well as Refugee Week t-shirts and a special range of products created by the Anchor Collective of refugee entrepreneurs. Once you have a date and a title for your event, you can add it to the Refugee Week calendar on our website. You can do this at any time, but the earlier the better, and by the middle of May is ideal if you can. Counterpoints Arts is here to support you, whether that's through our platformer network that supports artists and arts organisations working on themes of migration, through our partners IMIX that can advise on media, or through helping to connect you with other organisations. It's really worthwhile to link with other organisations and people involved in Refugee Week in your local area, which you can often find by Googling, or you can ask us. And there's also an email group, a Google group for Refugee Week event organisers that you can join to share learning and ask for advice. Finally, the best way to make sure you hear about Refugee Week resources and updates is by signing up to our newsletter on the Refugee Week website, if you haven't done so already. Whatever you choose to do for Refugee Week this June, you'll be joining hundreds of others across the UK and the world who share a belief in a kinder and fairer world. Thanks for listening. Keep in touch with us, keep in touch with each other. We're honoured to be part of this amazing movement and look forward to celebrating Refugee Week 2022 with you.